RHiNO Learns to Be Polite, a book about good manners. Written by Sue Graves, illustrated by Trevor Dunton. RHiNO was rude. He didn't mean to be rude at all. Sometimes he was in such a hurry that he forgot to be polite. One day he pushed past Giraffe in the corridor without thinking. He forgot to say, "Excuse me." Giraffe tripped up, but RHiNO was in such a hurry that he didn't stop to help him, and he didn't say sorry. On his birthday, RHiNO was very excited. All his friends came to his party. All his friends gave him lots of presents. But RHiNO was so excited that he forgot to thank them. Everyone thought he was ungrateful not to say thank you. Lunch times were worst of all. RHiNO was always very hungry for his lunch. Sometimes he pushed to the front of the queue. When Mrs. Crook asked him what he wanted to eat, he just pointed and said pie. He completely forgot to say please. Mrs. Crook thought he was very rude. RHiNO always forgot to eat with his mouth closed. He loved talking to his friends at lunchtime too, but he forgot to finish his mouthful first. Worst of all, he thought it was a good joke to burp loudly at the table. He thought everyone would laugh and think he was funny. But no one thought he was funny at all. They thought he was rude. On Monday, Lion invited all his friends to tea on Friday after school. But Lion didn't invite RHiNO. RHiNO was upset. He didn't like being left out. RHiNO asked Lion why he hadn't been invited to tea. Lion said that RHiNO didn't always have nice manners. He said his mum would not like it if RHiNO forgot to say please and thank you, or if he burped loudly. RHiNO was sad. He told his friends he was sorry that he was not polite. He said that he wished he remembered to have good manners all the time. He asked his friends to help him. They said it was important to practice good manners every day. They said it was important to think about others and to be polite. RHiNO said he would try really hard. The next day, RHiNO tried really hard to be polite. When he wanted to get past Hippo in the playground, he didn't push past him. Instead, he politely asked, "Excuse me." RHiNO held the door open for Miss Bird. Miss Bird thanked him. She said he had very nice manners. RHiNO was pleased. At lunchtime, RHiNO asked Mrs. Crook politely for some pie. He remembered to say please and thank you. He remembered to eat with his mouth closed. He didn't burp at all, not once. Everyone thought RHiNO was being very polite. On Friday, Lion had a special surprise for RHiNO. He asked him to tea after school with all the others. RHiNO was very excited. He promised that he would remember his manners. Lion's mum made a wonderful tea. Although RHiNO was hungry, he remembered to say please and thank you. He remembered to eat with his mouth closed, and he didn't talk with his mouth full. Everyone thought he had very nice manners. Soon it was time to go home. RHiNO remembered to thank Lion's mum for having him to tea without anyone reminding him. RHiNO told Lion it was much nicer to be polite and to have good manners than to be rude.